Management School. I am Chaitanya. I am the Certified Management Accountant and I am Academic Auditor for MyLogic Business Management School.
मासी देख
I would like to start this session by welcoming and introducing our distinguished speakers for the day. I welcome Mr. Fenil Vadaken. He's the Manager for Relationship Development of IMA in India. Fenil is an MBA from Christ University, Bangalore. He is having 10 years of experience in various roles in the education industry. He joined with IMA USA as a strategic consultant, country head, India in 2018, and now the manager for relationship development of Institute of Management Accountants in India. Welcome, Fenil. Now I welcome Mr. Brian Hock, the Chief Executive Officer of Hock International. Brian Hock graduated from Miami University and is a certified management accountant and certified internal auditor. Brian Hock is having 20 years of experience in the field of exam training for accounting, finance, and internal audit professionals. Mr. Hawk helps thousands of professionals in transforming their careers and personal development by contributing to various trainings and study materials for CMA, CIA, and CPA examinations. Welcome, Mr. Brian Hawk. Now, I welcome Mr. Vinod Chandran, who is the Chief Executive Officer of MyLogic Business Management School. Mr. Vinod Chandran is a chartered accountant and a certified holder of Specialized Executive Finance Program from IIM Lucknow. Mr. Vinod Chandran started his professional career with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited and played a pivotal role in pricing of many of the helicopter projects and for the finalization of major contracts under the Ministry of Defense. Later on, he joined with Capgemini France at top management level, heading the commercial finance globally for a tenure of 3 years. In addition to this, Mr. Vinod also handled the finance controller role of India operations of CenturyLink Technologies USA. Mr. Vinod is also an academician who has helped thousands of students to become professionals. He is the founder director of MyLogic, a leading finance professional training institute globally. Once again, I welcome each one of you participating in the seminar, all the invited guests, the lecturers and professors from various educational institutions, students, and request Mr. Vinod to take the session forward and provide guidance to the attendees in transforming and reaching newer heights in their careers.
Thank you, Chaitanya. A very good evening to one and all participating in this session. It's Sunday evening. Despite that, there has been a lot of interest being seen from a lot of students across India. And we will justify definitely through this session, we will ensure that at the end of 1 hour, you will have a lot of value additions with respect to how it can shape your career, as we move ahead. So I will give a brief agenda of our events today, and then we will start with one after another speakers. So we will the agenda for today, it will be starting with Fenil Vadaken. Fenil will be briefing about management accountancy in general and giving a high level overview about Institute of Management Accountants. Followed by Brian Hock, CEO of Hock International. We will be giving an overview about what is more specifics about CMA USA and insights about how an academic wise you will be able to how you need to move towards qualifying the CMA. Brian will be giving an insight about that. Followed with I will be coming back and giving a session about the growth of IMA in India and the opportunities for qualified CMA USA. What are the avenues which after qualifying you will be able to move ahead and settle in your career. That is how we will be shaping this, and then followed with a 5 to 10 minutes question answer session as well. So with this, we will start with Fenil. In fact, Chaitanya has given a brief introduction about Fenil, but there is a lot to say about Fenil. But Fenil is one individual I have been interacting or associating with for almost a decade now. And I should say, Fenil comes from Fenil is a inspiration for every one of us in this session. Hails from a very, very humble background in a small city in Kerala. Today, he, literally, in the top levels of IMA in India. It is not an easy journey. I know, Fenil, many of you know the place Cherutirthi. It is a very small village in, Shorlo, so, but his determination, his focus, he came to Bangalore. That was a very, I would say, Fenil can brief more about it, but movement to Bangalore, I would say, would be one of the key change maker in Fenil's life. But today he plays a pivotal role in IMA. India is a very strategic center for IMA, and Fenil is, is playing an amazing role for last few years. We have been seeing the growth of IMA in India. So welcome, Fenil, to our session. Thank you for being part of it, and students are looking forward to hear from you. Over to you, Fenil.
Thank you, Vinod. Thank you very much for such a great introduction, and thank you very much for your kind words. Yes, I would say the organizations which I worked helped me to grow, and my partners, we worked. I think the way when we work with as partners, I think that's where I've seen, you know, a lot of connections. We did, we discussed a lot of things. We learned from each other. Like now we have Brian again. Brian comes with such a legacy of CMA and the material, right material, great material in the market. And especially if you look at everyone know, like anyone who's do CMA, I think they all know about Hock and the material and the quality. Now it's a blend of Hock and Hock material and MyLogic, a wonderful training provider. I would say our platinum provider, and it's a blend of both. And I always see the kind of see that's also one more thing which I thought of sharing it with you before starting. The kind of commitment and focus of Vinod and my logic. There is no difference. They only look at, okay, we need the students qualify the certification, ensure other skill sets which is required, as well as to get placed. I know Vinod is taking a lot of steps. My logic is taking a lot of steps towards it, and I'm sure together we will able to grow, and it will be benefited for everyone.
Very much.
Uh, thank you. And with regards to CMA, I don't want. Usually, I talk about IMA and CMA. I said when Brian is there, I don't want to talk about CMA. He's a wonderful person to explain you what is CMA, how it is structured, how to prepare, and the tips and tricks for you to look at and prepare for your CMA exams. So there is no need of my introduction. So I'm sure most of you know, those who are attending the seminar might know a little bit about IMA. So IMA is a 100+ year old professional body headquartered in New Jersey, USA, spread across 150 countries with around 140,000 members. So apart from the certification, we are into continuous education, which ensure the members are upgrading themselves with the right skill set which is required for the future, networking opportunities, research, and highest adequacy for the ethical standards in the business. Apart from the global offices, 10 global offices we do have, one even in India, which is in Bangalore, we do have 300+ chapters. So you might think, what is chapters? So chapters is a group of members comes together, they share their ideas, they learn from each other, and it's also an opportunity to network. So in the chapter, you can see a fresh student who's in the graduation or even post graduation. On the other side, you can see someone like directors, managers, vice presidents, kind of profile people who are again who are in the age of 45 to 50. They might be also part of this group. So this is an opportunity where you come together, you share your knowledge and network with people, so that help you in many different ways. I don't want to talk about that right now. That we will definitely talk about once you join for the program and when we do a CMA orientation program. Apart from that, the hard work of creating the CMAs in the society is done by our approved providers. So that is why sometimes we recommend students to study through our approved provider, because we know how they teach and what benefit they get from these approved providers, because that's where we give them a title by looking at multiple parameters. And I'm happy to say you are looking at, if you're joining for CMA, you're going to join with IMA's platinum provider, MyLogic. We work with many corporates. So some of you might think, what do you mean by work with corporates? So we call them as corporate supporters. So what we do with them, we work with them in research initiatives. Some of these companies come back and say, we would like to fund for our employees to do CMA certification. And the third one, some organization come back to us and say, we need fresh CMAs, we need experienced CMAs. So there are different requirements. So we inform our candidates about the opportunity comes to us. So sometimes people ask whether you are into placement. No, we are not into placement, but we work very closely with corporates. And whatever opportunity comes to us, we extend that to our candidates, depends on their requirement as well as experience requirement. We work with many colleges and universities as integrated model. Maybe this is the first model in India, or in India we got this model very famous, whereas I would say more than 1,500 students study CMA along with graduation. So these are some of them. Vinod, can you do the, I know, like somebody is drawing on the screen. Yeah, thank you. Now, the next question comes to you. We are living in the world of technology, analytics, and robotics.
Sorry, Fenil,
So,
you can do that annotation block. Because I made you host. I'm not able to do it from here.
oh, okay.
Disable annotation.
Okay, disable annotation, which I'm not able to see. Where is it? Okay, guys who are joining, please don't do any other activities in between. Thank you. So now what we discussed about, we are living in the world of technology, analytics, and robotics. Now, whether these technological changes going to affect us. So if you look at around 10 years back, we might seen a lot of internet cafes and telephone booths in our villages and small cities. You won't see them right now, am I right? But on the other side, we do have mobiles which you can access all these services in your hand itself and wherever you are. Now, in a one way, it eased the life, but on the same time, it created a lot of disruption. The, the same,
Please continue.
yeah, the same issue is going to affect, or the same kind of disruption also happening in the finance industry. According to the recent study which IMA done it with IMA and Deloitte together done it, 27% of organizations are going through the finance transformation in a year time, and 87 point, almost 88% of organizations are going through finance transformation in the next 5 years time. So what it means, some of the jobs what you see right now won't be there in the near future. So if you look at last 3 to 5 years time in India, that's the time I would say the kind of lot of importance are given for management accountants. Because when we go through the finance transformation, any jobs which is automated or repeated in nature will be automated. So in a way, you won't see much of accountants maybe in the future. But you need people who can give the consultative approach, decision making support, risk management, like multiple parameters, ideally more a consultant approach or advisory roles, in the organization structure. And that is what I would say the reason behind why IMA is moving these days, or or the reason behind why industry is behind management accountants. So who are management accountants? I'm sure that's the next question comes up. I'm sure you all know about financial accountants, or in India, what we say, chartered accountants. Great profession, no doubt about it. I'm not talking about that right now. It's a great profession. You need chartered accountants and public accountants in the industry to look at the audit, tax, assurance, compliance, more into evaluating the organization. So in that scenario, what's the role of a management accountant? Anyone who comes to me, I used to ask them, like, whether you are looking at and you want to be an accountant in the organization, or whether you want to be a decision maker yourself. It's up to you which route you want to select. And I would say, if somebody want to be a leader, decision maker, or somebody who would like to take a risk in their life and take new strategies and new decisions, I would say management accounting will give you that edge and support. So what's the role of management accountants? Management accountants are finance and accounting professionals who create value for the organization and work as strategic decision partners or strategic business partners. So they work in planning, managing risk, cost management, performance measurement, decision analysis, and strategic decision making. Now, this is the same thing which I said. You need public accountants and management accountants in the industry. So public accounting focus, or when we say public accounting, it's a US terminology. In India, chartered accounting, which focus towards audit, tax, assurance, compliance, which is more into valuation. Whereas on the other side, management accounting is more into implement, develop, manage, report. It's more into value creation. 80% of CMAs globally feels that their certification enhances their ability to move across areas of business. What it means? So being a management accountant, you are not restricted yourself to only to one industry, which is our accounting. You can work in accounting, finance, IT, operations, and even in the senior leadership levels. 34% of people who completed CMA right now work as CFOs, CEOs, and controllers. 22% of them work as directors and managers. 33% of them work as financial analysts, business analysts, risk analysts, investment analysts, uh, FP&A costing. So these are some of the pricing. These are some of the areas what I've seen people with CMA with 3 to 5 years of experience. So what is their role? Their role is to create the right reports to the next level. And 22% of them, they might be decision makers by themselves, or creating the final report to the top management to take the right decision. And 34% of them who completed CMA are the decision makers in the industry. 11% of them are working as consultants, academicians. They might be running their own in organizations, the different roles they engage. So that's how, once you complete what different kind of role job profiles people or CMAs goes through. Just to highlight some of the profiles. And I'll complete with this slide, and then I'll hand it over to Brian to talk more about CMA and more details about that. But just before that, I want to tell you, every 5 to 6 years, IMA go around the world and ask the employers what kind of skill set you are expecting from your employees. Based on this job analysis study, IMA create our management accounting competency framework. So these are the skill sets which is required in the industry for the management accountants, or these are the skill set which in a corporate is looking at from the management accountants. Which are these? Strategy, planning, performance, reporting, control, business acumen and operations, technology and analytics. Now, uh, we all know about technology and analytics lot create a lot of changes in the industry, and being a management accountant, you should know about it. And I would say, if analytics can predict the future, the role of a management accountant is also how to influence that prediction. Then professional values, ethics, and finally, it is centered with leadership skills. Now, the interesting part of this, the CMA certification and your IMA membership benefits are created in and around this management accounting competency framework. So in a way, IMA help you to look at the future needs of the industry. It's a relevant certification, industry certification created with inputs from the industry. Definitely, people look at CMA as a career progression certification and a lot of other benefits, and be a CMA internationally qualified professional. Now I'll hand it over to you to Brian to talk more about CMA and other details. Thank you. Thank you. Vinod, over to you and Brian.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Brian, I will give a brief about yourself once again, then you can start. So thank you, Fenil, for giving an insight about management accounting as a profession. So we will have Brian speaking about specifics, more specifics about CMA USA. You will understand how CMA USA, overall picture you will be getting from Brian now. See, our association with Brian spans across excuse me. So almost over 15 years now. I still remember the days where I, exchanged mails with Brian in 2004-5, where we first started CMA USA program in India. And I would say, it has been a fabulous association. Personally, I had with Brian and brother Kevin Hock. And they have been doing a fabulous job to the fraternity of called CMA. And IMA is extremely, I would say, has been supportive in helping, material providers, content providers, and partners like us to, enhance that efforts. So over to Brian with that introduction. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. I've been doing this for 20 years. It's 21 years coming up pretty soon is the first time I taught a CMA class. And it's kind of irrelevant to this, but I was in Moscow, Russia at that time, and we ran the first class in Moscow. We had 29 people who wanted to join. We had 28 chairs in the room. And so one person had to say, you've got to join the next group. But anyway, it's been 20 years. I've enjoyed almost every minute of it, and it's a great pleasure to be here with all of you tonight. And I look at how many participants there are, and this is absolutely wonderful. And the fact that there's so many people here that are interested actually shows a lot of where the value of CMA comes from. And I'll get to that in just a minute. But I want to talk initially here about you and the decision that you have to make. You're here, you're interested in CMA, you're making decisions as to whether or not you want to study a professional certification, whether or not CMA is the professional certification that will do the best for you. But I want to just kind of say, whatever decision you make about a professional certification, the key thing to remember is when you make the investment in your time, and it's a lot of time, there's going to be a lot of time in the next 12 months that you're going to be studying, and money, there's a significant financial investment as well. You need to keep in mind that this is a short-term investment, a short-term investment of your time and a short-term investment of money that's going to provide benefit to you for the rest of your career. And occasionally we get, people send an email and they'll say, well, I'm 45 years old. Is it worth doing CMA? Well, if you're 45 years old, it means you probably have 20 years of your professional career remaining. And so when you look at it from the standpoint of, I'm going to spend 12 months doing something that's going to provide me benefit for 20 years, absolutely you make that investment. And so if you're younger than 45, some of you, if you're still in school, if you just finished school, if you're at the early stages of your career, you need to keep in mind the time frame of what we're looking at. We're looking at 12 months, 18 months of studying that's going to provide a benefit to you for 25, 35, 45 years of benefit. Now, the IMA does a wonderful job, and they prepare a salary survey, and they every year they tell you how much more money you make each year because you have CMA. And at this point, it doesn't even matter what the numbers are, because if you say you have 30 years of working, and you can do the math in your mind, you know how much it costs to register for the exams and to study for the exams in your material. Take that number of how much it's going to cost and divide it by 30. That's how much your salary needs to go up because you're CMA a year to make it worthwhile. And it's nothing. And so it's a very short-term investment, for CMA when you compare it to other professional certifications out there. You can be done this time next year. If you make a decision today, you can be done this time next year, and then you're ready to get the benefits for the rest of your career. And so when you're thinking about, should I do a certification? And if I should, when should I start? Once you've made the decision that you need a professional certification, the time you start is today, because you want to get that benefit for as long as possible. If you decide, well, I'll wait until I get a new job, I'll wait until my child starts school, I'll wait, there's always something that's going to be there for you to wait until something changes. But you're going to get the benefit as soon as you start. So there's no reason to wait. And I'll give you a non-exam example. When I was, looking to hire somebody, and whenever I had anybody that I wanted to hire for a position, I'd start thinking, well, when do I want them to start? Do I want them to start them now, or do I want them to start in 3 months or 4 months or 5 months? And I finally decided that if I've decided I need this person in my company, this position in my company, I don't want to wait. I want that person now. So let's start that person now, start finding that person now, so I can get the benefit of having that person for as long as possible. So if you're thinking, I need to do it, I'm trying to decide when, the answer for when you should start studying is very simple. You go to the MyLogic website, find out when the next class starts, and that's the class you sign up for. And you start studying now so you can get those benefits for an even longer period of time. So start as soon as possible. Once you make the decision, start, don't wait. You want to get that benefit for as long as possible in your career. Now, let me talk a little bit about what we're doing here with the professional certification. And if we look at the term professional certification, there's two words, professional and certification. Now, I want to briefly touch on what the certification means for you and what that word means, but I'll focus a little bit longer on what professional means and how it is that you benefit from the professional part of a professional certification. First of all, the certification is a structured syllabus. When you've passed CMA, people know what you know. There's a syllabus. It covers section A, section B, and it's a very detailed, very good syllabus. And you're able to go to somebody and say, I'm a CMA. And if the company you're looking at, the HR person you're talking to says, what's CMA? You can say, well, here's the syllabus. Send them the syllabus and say, this is the professional certification. This is the syllabus I passed. This is what I know. And this is important because nobody knows about your university education. Nobody knows about your university and how good your university education is. And here's the example. When I was introduced, it was said that I went to Miami University. Well, if you hear that I went to Miami University, if that means anything at all to you, you think that I went to university in Miami, Florida. Because when people hear Miami in reference to the United States, it's Miami, Florida. Everyone goes on vacation down there with Disney World. You think my university was in Florida. Well, it wasn't. There's another Miami University in America, and we like to think that we are the real Miami University because, and again, this isn't on the CMA exam, Miami of Florida, the city, Miami of Florida, was named after my university. So Miami University is where I went to school, and none of you have heard of it, probably. None of you have heard of it. So when I say I went to Miami University, it means nothing to you. Well, when I went to Miami University, we were in the top 5 best accounting programs in the United States. So what that means is my accounting education is top notch. Very few people have a better university accounting education than I do. But you don't know that. You have no idea that my accounting education is very good. You can tell me what university you're attending or attended, and your university may be the best university in India. I don't know that. Your university means nothing to me. The name of it doesn't mean anything. But when you've passed a professional certification, everybody can look and see what you learned, and they know you passed that exam. So when you're looking for a job, if you're looking for a job in another country, you're looking for a job in another part of India, you're looking for a job in another industry, in another company, the fact that you have a certification tells that company what you know, and they're certain that you passed that exam. And so this is what I call your passport. This is your passport to a new job, a new position in your current company, a new position in a different company, a job in a different country. Because that certification allows people to know what you know. And that's where the value from that comes. So I said there's 2 words, professional and certification. That's certification, the passport part. But I think sometimes we overlook what it means to be a professional. And when you say, I have a professional certification, what does that mean? Well, when you're a professional, and you're a professional accountant, professional management accountant, whatever you want to say, what that means is you understand that you are part of a larger group of people. And it's because of that larger group of people that you get value, that you get benefit. And it's kind of a process of you're part of a larger group, that larger group has a good reputation, and you benefit from that. The fact that CMA has value in India, that companies want to hire people who are CMAs, has nothing to do with a legal requirement. CMAs in India you can't do anything legally. Okay, in any country, CMAs have no legal standing. But people value it because of all the CMAs that came before you. 10 years ago, a company hired a CMA, and that CMA did really well. And then they hired another CMA, and that CMA did better than everybody else. And finally, the company realized, it must be these CMAs. They're really good. And so a company wants to hire you as a CMA because they have previous experience with the people that have come before you as CMAs doing their job very, very well. And you're part of that. You're part of that larger body. And this is what Fenil was talking about indirectly when he talked about people moving across industries, moving across jobs. Because you have the skills that come with the knowledge of CMA, you're able to be in the accounting department or the finance department. You have the skills necessary to be part of the management team. And he talked about the competencies and the fact that those competencies change over time. Well, that's part of being in a profession like CMA, being a member of the IMA. You have to keep doing continuous professional education. And so that whole thing about robotics and robotic process automation and the role of computers in the business. 20 years ago, that wasn't on the exam. 20 years ago, that didn't exist. 40 years ago, there was no idea that that was going to be part of the accounting profession in the future. And we have no idea what's going to be 10 years from now, what technology is going to be doing 10 years from now. But I know, and I'm certain and confident, that the IMA is going to keep me current with that. Continuing education, I'm going to continue to learn those things. I'm going to continue to have opportunities from the IMA to take training on those topics and learn about them and learn how to apply them in my job. I know over time that that competency framework is going to change, that they're going to identify different competencies that somebody needs to have. And that's part of the benefit of that profession and being part of this professional organization. It's not you by yourself. You know, the question of, does the IMA help with job placement? Well, not officially and not formally, but the IMA helps with job placement by being the IMA. And the fact that you're also a member of the IMA, people know something about you. They say, oh, you know, I've worked with those IMAs before. I've been to some of those meetings. And so you need to take advantage not only of the certification part of the IMA and becoming a CMA, but you need to take advantage of that professional network that the IMA provides. Fenil mentioned there's 300 chapters. Find your local chapter, participate, go to the meetings in whatever form they're taking place in right now. That's how you find your next job. That's how you find your next employee. That's how you network. That's how you stay current. Okay, we've got the competency framework, we've got the professional meetings, we've got the conferences, the conventions that take place in different parts around the world. Hopefully, again, those will start. But all of that is what helps make certain that this benefit you get from passing the CMA exam never stops. You pass CMA, and clearly there's benefit to that. But as you stay active in the IMA, as you stay active in the profession from now for the next 30, 40 years, however long it is, that's what drives the benefit. That's what provides that benefit for you. One of the things, on any financial exam, they talked about return on investment. That's what I said earlier. You take how much money you have to invest, how many hours you have to invest, and you try to calculate what the return on investment is for becoming a CMA. And I know it's not a zero investment because there is an investment, but when you take the size of the benefit you're going to get over the next decades of your career, the return on investment almost becomes a division by zero error. Your benefit over 30 years is so large that the 12 months you spend studying, the few couple $1,000s you spend for registration and the studying is so small compared to the return that you're going to get. I don't even know what the calculation would be. It would be huge what the return on investment is. And so, kind of wrapping up here, what is it you need to do to become a CMA? Start. You need to start. You may have attended some of these webinars. You may have been researching CMA for 6 months, for a year. Well, it's not going to happen until you start. So if you're ready, you go to the MyLogic website. They'll tell you later today probably when the next group starts. That's how you start. That's what you do. Sign up for class. Their class says my materials, you'll pass. All you need to do is do it. So sign up today, start today, and you want to start as soon as possible so you get those benefits for as long as possible. Whether it's 10 years left in your career or 40 years in your career. The benefits are huge. The benefits start immediately, but you don't get those benefits until you start. So as soon as this is over today, sign up for the class, get ready, because the benefits begin as soon as you start. And so I guess that's everything I wanted to say, but I'll be here at the end for questions. So back to you, Vinod. Except you're still muted.
Yeah, thank you, Brian. Thank you for that, introduction about CMA USA. Listen, we are everyone. We are coming to the last phase of our presentation of today. So, if we look at the flow of events, we started with Fenil speaking about importance of management accounting. How management accounting is different from a chartered accountant, which is a financial accounting, and what is the career prospect for it. Fenil was highlighting on it. Then we have Brian coming up and speaking about why CMA USA is so important for shaping up your career. How much it will become strategically important. Now I'm supposed to speak about the opportunities, how you can, by qualifying CMA, how you can frame your career in India, and how MyLogic can contribute for that. I will be speaking about it. So before even I move into that, I just want to highlight on CMA USA a couple of points for the interest of people who have joined. See, Certified Management Accountant program, while Fenil as well as Brian has touched up, this gives a summary of it. It will be useful. It has only just 2 papers. You clear 2 exams, you are CMA qualified, of which 75% of the questions are objective in nature. Objective type. 4 options there. You can click anything, then you will get the answer. No negative marks. You don't have any negative marks. Exam duration is 4 hours, out of which 3 hours is objective type questions, and 1 hour is simulations. Okay. And the best part about CMA USA program is average passing percentage. If you look at globally, it is around 45 to 50%. So which means that out of 100 students writing exam, 45 to 50 people pass, which is, I would say, relatively very high compared to any other professional qualifications in India. And you have exam flexibility. You have Jan, Feb, May, June, September, October. You can schedule your exam at your convenience. That is another important feature. So these kind of features make, I would say, CMA USA very unique in the sense you can start it within 1 year, you can complete and finish it off. That is the advantage you will be having with it. Okay. A quick comparison with Indian professional qualifications. While Indian professional qualification, as Fenil was also highlighting, has its own charm, here I would highlight what is the advantage of CMA USA. You could complete in a shorter span of period, 1 year. The other qualification takes substantially more time. International certification. You don't want to settle in India. You are planning to go to US. You are planning to go to settle in Canada. You want to go in Middle East. Any part of the world you go, if you are CMA USA qualified, you will have opportunities. Passing percentage, I already mentioned, 45 to 50% is the global average. In MyLogic, we maintain consistently between 60 to 70% result. I will come to that later. And as I said, opportunities also across the globe. So you understood a brief about CMA USA. I will show a short video as well to give you an insight about, 1 minute video. It's an animated 1 minute video, which will give a complete picture of what is CMA USA. Whatever we explain, 1 minute will brief you. I hope you can see the screen. Listen to this video.
You want to accelerate your career and become a leading international finance professional in just 9 months? CMA USA is the smartest way with the highest return on investment. Let's have a look at the key highlights of CMA USA. It can be completed in 9 months. Online exams, 75% objective type questions, excellent passing percentage, 45 to 50%, opportunities across the globe. Now the question is, which is the best institute for CMA USA? Without any doubt, it's MyLogic. At MyLogic, we offer different modes of coaching that include physical classes, live online classes, and self-learning platform. MyLogic, with 15 years of experience, brings globally best results for CMA USA. With excellent faculties, intensive coaching, regular mock exams, and placement support, MyLogic stands as the #1 choice for CMA USA program. Don't miss out. Enroll now. www.mylogicvideos.com.
coming back to the presentation. So a quick brief about MyLogic and how you can become CMA USA. A hint about, I would say, the journey of your CMA USA. So somebody today listening to the session, okay, sir, I'm clear. Okay, I got a fair idea about what is CMA USA. It is a program which can be completed in 1 year. But how I complete it, that journey I'm going to mention it in next 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. So as in the video says, we are an edtech company and we provide various finance professional programs. And CMA USA is our flagship program. And as Fenil also highlighted earlier, we are one of the platinum partners, thanks to IMA and Fenil and the entire leadership team of IMA for recognizing us. And it's one of the most prestigious recognition across the globe to have this platinum. There are various levels, silver, gold, and platinum. And MyLogic is one of the platinum providers. Now, this is a platform. Now, here what I am going to say about it, how you are going to approach. So when you are providing, there are various providers providing CMA USA program. How it differentiate when it comes to MyLogic is what I want to highlight. Okay, so here the first point is it's a starting point wherein you start getting more about knowledge about CMA USA program. So we have specialized academic counselors who gives insights about the program. And once you enroll, then what happens, you will be getting a personalized dashboard. Okay, this is, I would say, this is considered to be one of the leading platforms. Okay, it's like, you will go to a website, you will be getting into the dashboard. You can see this dashboard. You will have a login ID and password. This is a personalized ID and password for every one of it. See, this is what the differentiating factors. Okay, now you go there, you will have something called My Live classes. You go there, My Live classes. You will have everyday basis. There will be class recordings. Links will be available here. Okay, so you will have the class recording sessions available. The link will be available. And then you will have the previous record. This is for some other programs. But CMA, when you enroll, you will have CMA USA's program. All the recordings of the classes will be available for you. So you will not miss any session. So you attend any classes, in your personalized dashboard, you will be getting all the recordings also in that space. So you can watch one after another until you get qualified. Also, when you join for our live classes, we give some complimentary access. Okay, let us have a look at what is a complimentary access. This is also being sold separately, but for the students who join for live classes, this is a differentiating factor. Now, when you enroll, you will go to this dashboard again, wherein first option is you will be able to watch high quality videos. Okay, you can watch a video. Give me a second. Now let's move to the next part under external reporting. So far we discussed that when we say external reporting. So these are graphical videos. Income statement, semi-graphical videos, you will be there, you will be watching it. And after watching the videos, you will have question bank. Concurrently, you will be practicing the question, okay? For each video, you will have selected in-house. We have developed some high quality questions. You will be able to practice one after another. And after practicing the questions, if you have, you will be able to view the material. Also, if at all you come across any doubt, you have an option to call the tutor. Immediately, concurrently, you will be able to call the tutor. You'll be able to WhatsApp the tutor. You can, there is something called exam, comprehensive exam. How the final exam of IMA happens, the same model, we convene some exams. Okay, let me see, I have. You will be able to, so this is like exactly how you take the final exam, you will be able to take the exam. These are all in-house developed software. So you can see 180 minutes expiring. You are watching, you will be taking one after another questions. So then you will be going, you will get the results also immediately. So this we generally suggest immediately just before the final exam. It gives a simulated exam feel. So this is what the platform you will be getting access, so you will be having mentors. The moment, Chaitanya is the academic director, who's a qualified CMA, who takes care of, thousands of CMA students aspiring for it. So he gives under him, there is a able team who supports students one after another, including the personalized comfort of support we provide. So the live classes we discuss, the recordings you have seen, then you will have mock exams, continuous mock exam. Every week, Monday to Friday classes, Saturday, Sunday exams. So you are updated with it. You have exams coming, simulated mock exams coming up, simulated exams coming up. All these process continues. And once you write the exam, so in fact, before writing, there are at least 4 or 5 milestones we say. So before you write the exam, you will know that whether you will qualify or not. So that level of, I would say, expertise has been acquired here. Now, after that, you write the exam and you qualify. Once you qualify, also, it doesn't end there. We help you in placement. I'll come to the placement side more. There are a lot of companies with which we are tied up. I'll discuss more on that. And finally, you become part of a prestigious MyLogic alumni. It's like a family. You become part of a family. So advantage is that once you become a part of the family, which has huge amount of alumni students, they help each other. So any opportunity comes across any good companies in Bangalore, immediately I get an alert, because most of the companies we will have some representation. So they help us. So it works. So tomorrow, once you qualify, you get placed, you will also alert about your company. So a beautiful alumni is working. So that way, it works like a complete ecosystem, starting from it and a lifelong journey. It's a professional journey. So I have even students with 15 years back who are my students are still part of my alumni group. They support, people in EY's director level, Genpac's, I would say, senior most level, India head level, like that, various levels. So that helps us really to help in placing the students also. Okay. Now this is a result. So when we say, I would say the 5 milestone to, complete before the final exam, thankfully, because of all these efforts, we get exceptionally good results. 75% is as I said, 60 to 70% is the average. Some windows we have better results also. So this last 2020 results. Most of these are 2020 results. And the placements also, you can see some of the placements. We have few students placed in Middle East, like EXL, Insight Consulting, Analyst, Amazon is another company, Arvind Limited, Britannia. These are a few of the companies, Deloitte, Goldman Sachs, all these companies we have our representations. Okay, these are 2020 few of the placements we picked up. So this includes companies like London Stock Exchange, Lenovo, okay, the Mohammed Danish in London Stock Exchange again, Ford, Goldman Sachs, KPMG. So this is all, the change happens within 1 year. As Brian said, just 1 year you finish off the program, then you get into some global multinational companies, and then rest of your 30, 35 years of your career is secured. Okay. We are connected. We are partners of Capgemini. This was recently we signed MOU with Capgemini. So thankfully they included us as their partners. We have the vendor empanelment done. TCS in the final stages, Tata Consultancy Service, and Infosys again in the final stages of finalization. But what I'm trying to say with all these discussion is, we have an advantage of, being in Bangalore. As I said, initially Fenil's case also, being in Bangalore geographically really helped. See, in my journey also, I started my career in Cochin, Kerala, where I did my graduation. But I took a choice that day to go to Mumbai, So Mumbai, I spent 5 years pursuing CA. Many of you are, I would say very youngsters. That's why I'm sharing this. But if you ask me, one of the toughest at the same time, one of the career changing moment of my life is decision to move to Mumbai. 5 years I have extreme struggle, but trust me, the experience of Mumbai, being in that metro city, today going back to Bangalore in last 15 years, that really made the difference. See, even today when the discussion in US, the Senate meetings of US, the discussion of Bangalore happens. Why it happens is because of the, I would say the dominance of multinational companies. So I would suggest you should seriously, when you think about seriously about CMA USA, come out of your comfort zone. You should look out something like Bangalore, we're in the world of opportunities. I would say every day, trust me, every day when I interact with any of this corporate, these 3 leaders, I kept these photos consciously. This Anurag Gupta is one of the largest companies. It's a Goldman Sachs funded company. He's the CEO of that company, First Meridian. So he's the CEO. He was presenting to a Business World magazine last day. Now Ashok Nambudri, he was ex Star Sports. Now he's moved to C. He was the guy who was holding the IPL. What we have seen IPL. He was the key strategist behind from Star Sports sides running. Then Matthew Joseph is on AI platforms, one of the greatest leaders in artificial intelligence. So we are all closely connected with it, which really helps us in connecting students with various corporates, and not only just about job. It is about more about what is future. It is not. We keep saying it is not about just a job. It is about enhancing, transforming their career. We really mean when we keep that logo with our our tagline as transforming career, we really mean it. It is not just about getting a job. Beyond that, and from that perspective, it is a continuous journey. And for the students who kindly be on mute, for the students who join this session, I want to highlight about scholarship from IMA also. This is a very subjective, as if now it is an existence. Anybody, Brian was asking, you should be thinking about doing now. If you are a BCom student, BBM student, BBA student, any of the category, and you intend to pursue CMA USA, I would suggest do it now, because you have an option to apply for a scholarship. It's not a confirmed, there is no commitment, but you have a choice. If within each college there is around 10 numbers, there is a possibility of getting a scholarship, you could avail that. So somebody thinking that, okay, let me do it after graduation. Instead of that, if you're doing BCom now, think of now, so that easily around $800, $850 you will be able to say, around 60,000 you will be able to say. IMA fees will be exempted. That membership, exam, everything will be given as scholarship. So this is something you should be seriously think about it. One of our students got it. Okay, I just kept that. Many students got it. I kept one student's photo. A lot of extracurricular activities in Bangalore. You are always welcome. Once COVID and other things situation, you will be continue to enjoy all these extracurricular activities. Then a lot of additional activities like, as I said, it is not just about giving CMA training and finishing it off. Much beyond that. We have developed something called COPA, Certified Operational Accountant, wherein the intent is how you are, today it is all about skill. How, though you complete CMA, how your skill level improve. So there are programs like RPA, Industry Connects, personality redefining program. There are a lot of value additions being provided to ensure that, you get best of output and helps you to qualify. And the coming to classes, once again, very extensive hours. You will not have this 1 year, you have to be like a professional. 400 to 500 hours of session, revision classes, mock exams, software, video access. There will be a lot of things to do. Chaitanya and his team will be taking care of it. But I would say 1 year you spent dedicated, completely for this program, then trust me, 30, 35 years of your career is safe. Okay, so that is the way you need to look at, from this perspective. You can take a screenshot of these numbers. Couple of numbers is there. You can reach out to these numbers. They will be able to give you more insights as well. I've given, in case if you have missed, you can take the screenshot of 9538803042 and 97380130042. These two numbers you can take screenshot as well. So that's what we intend to cover in today's session. So if you look at the summary of our discussion, we started with management accounting. Fenil explained about IMA and management accounting. Later on, Brian explained about importance of CMA and the need to cover up CMA program now. And I was trying to highlight more about the MyLogic and how your academics is important, how we can help you to get qualified, not just to qualify, how to transform your career. We will be able to add value. This is what we intend to summarize. Now, what we can do is we will have the question answer. We are exactly on time, Fenil, as per schedule. Now we'll take, the questions. Any students happy? Any students? Any questions? Happy to address. We'll try our best to answer the questions. Okay. We'll take one by one questions. Okay. So we have a question. First question from Najma Baiju. what is the difference between ACCA and CMA? Okay. See, I'll answer that because I stand in a, it's better I answer that. See, ACCA is also a very good qualification, no doubts in that. It's also a world recognized qualification. The only difference, if I say from ACCA to CMA, is that ACCA is a UK qualification and takes, I would say, around 2 to 2.5 years minimum time, and whereas CMA could be completed in 1 year. When it comes to employment market, trust me, both have equal standing. You are, from a MyLogic perspective, we provide ACCA also. We are able to place ACCA students also. So from ACCA or my CMA, from an employment perspective, it is equal. But being a US qualification, because it is a US qualification, CMA have more global reach, I would say. Because, you being a, I would say, maximum Fortune 500 companies have US representation. So when you think of planning to move to US or Canada later on some part of your career, then CMA USA would be better. On the other side, if you're planning to settle in UK, probably ACCA would be better compared to CMA USA. But I would say, considering the time or if you're looking for more of a US settle or Canada settle, then CMA USA would be a better option. Okay, I hope I answered that. Now, there is a question to Brian. I have over 10 years of experience into financial accounting, but now I am working as a pricing analyst in a paper products industry. Do you suggest pricing would be better career, or I should stick to accounting as my career? And I have started CMA this year. The question is from Asif Khan. The question is to Brian.
I think depending on what you mean by pricing, my initial reaction is that pricing is a specific position and not necessarily a career. And so I think by continuing with CMA, you would continue to have more options available to you going forward. It may be that pricing is a temporary position, and after pricing, you go somewhere else. And by having CMA, by seeing how pricing impacts so much part of the business, I mean, there's a section of the CMA exam that talks about pricing. I think CMA is a great guide by providing additional opportunities and multiple opportunities for you going forward in what it would be that would be available for you to do. A couple other questions in the chat, if I can just go ahead and answer those as well. There's a question, would CMA help for someone who's aspiring for CFA 2? And there's a question about, I'm in my final semester of MCOM, which professional course is best? The answer to both of those questions is very related, in that the question really needs to be answered by looking at what do you want to be doing 5 years from now? And so the person who's in investment, who's doing CFA, if in 5 years your goal is to be in investment banking, then CMA may not add a lot to being CFA, because if you want to go into investment banking, CFA is the certification that is most associated with that. But if you aren't certain that investment banking is what you want to be doing the rest of your life, and if you're doing CFA, if you haven't looked yet at part 3, the 3rd level exam, make certain you look at that. But the question is, what do you want to be doing 5 years from now? If it's investment banking, you want to do CFA. If it's not investment banking, then CMA would certainly add a lot of opportunity, a lot of scope as to what you are prepared to do. And so you're in your final year of MCOM. What do you want to do? If you think, I just love internal audit, I think I want to be an internal auditor, well, then certified internal auditor is what you should do. If you say, I want to be in investment banking, well, then CFA is kind of the direction you need to be going. If you're saying, I don't know exactly, CMA is, in my opinion, the best overall business certification available. Now, if you want to do investment banking, CMA is not the best for you. If you want to become a US tax expert, CMA is not the best for you. But if you want to have opportunities and options and a great foundation of how to be a manager, how to run a company, if you want to be an entrepreneur, CMA is what it is that you should be doing for that. So I think I tried to answer those questions.
Yeah. Brian, I just want to add one more point on that. So See, many times I have a lot of students who, coming up, I want to do CFA because my uncle told, or my, father's office colleague has told. See, you have to understand CFA is one of the world's toughest qualification. Okay, as Brian said, if you are purely an investment banker, your aspiration is for investment banking, it makes sense. But don't go with anybody's suggestion of going for CFA. Please don't do that. Okay, I've seen many people doing that and later on coming back and doing CMA. But Shibil Iqbal, we can connect offline. I can give you more guidance on it. Definitely that will be. Same with Pooja. MCOM you completed without any second thoughts. If you're looking for a career in finance, accounting to become, aspire towards a professional within a 1 year time, I would say, no second thoughts. We provide around 10 qualifications, a portfolio of 10 qualifications. Any student coming up, without specific, and somebody comes with, okay, I want to go and settle in UK. We say that, okay, do ACCA. Or somebody say, I wanted to do a financial accounting, only financial accounting. We said, go for CPA or CA. But in general, if somebody is asking, I would say the best cream of qualification is CMA USA. I'm not just saying from here, I'm saying with 15 years of experience.
One of the things too is when you do ACCA or CMA or some of the other Indian qualifications that are years and years long, that's a significant investment. And one of the ways too to look at it is CMA is 2 exams, 12 months, 18 months, whatever you want it to be. And it's a very, very good foundation process. Because if you're in school, the person who's in school still, if you can do CMA while you're still in school. So if you finish CMA a year out of school, you have a lot of opportunities available to you. And then when your career is, when you're very old and you're like 25 years old, if you decide now you want to go into investment banking, you can still do CFA. A lot of people get multiple certifications. And so from a foundational standpoint, CMA is a very good one because it keeps open management accounting, it keeps open finance jobs, it keeps open jobs that are outside of accounting and finance that are ultimately management level jobs. So don't think of it as once you've done one certification, you're done. But if you start down ACCA, you've started down a fairly long road. And that's a commitment. With CMA, it's a great foundation, and until you learn what specific part of a business you want your career to be in.
Right. Thanks for that, Brian. So Bhavani have a question. What is the cost of registration for CMA USA exam? Bhavani, so, there are 3 parts to the fees. One is MyLogic training fees, then the study material fees and IMA fees. What we'll do is we will connect with you offline and we will give you more insights about the fees. But I could say overall fees, it depends upon whether you are a student or professional. But overall fees, you will be able to manage within 1.5 to 1.6 lakhs as a whole, as a professional. If it is you are a student, you will be able to complete it within less than that. So we will be giving you offline more insights about that. CMA and CPA are US qualifications. Can you do a comparison of both? Fenil, you would like to take that question?
No issues. I think Brian already answered for that. So if you are someone who's interested to work on tax assurance, compliance, US tax, then doing CMA won't help. So if you look, that's the one slide which we were discussing. CPA is more into audit, tax assurance, compliance is more into valuation, and CMA is more into finance and management accounting. So if your interest is towards audit and tax, please go and do CPA. That's a wonderful qualification. But if you want to be a general financial or finance and management accountant, then CMA might be one of the qualifications which you can look at. So now, from exam point of view, CMA is 2 exams, CPA is 4 exams. Both exams you can now write it in India. It's your choice whether you want to be an accountant, auditor, tax side, or you want to be a finance and management professional.
Right.
Thanks to Fenil for that answer. It was me who asked that question. Thank you.
Pooja, I have one more question, Fenil. So with your experience, I can also supplement that. And if we stay in India, in which companies we can get appointed if we crack CMA USA? A lot of companies, but, you can.
Okay, so as I mentioned in the beginning, we work with many corporates, and on the other side, I told you we are not into placement. Our organization is not into placement, but we work very closely with many organizations. Just to give you a few examples, like Deloitte, HPE, Accenture, Wipro, BNY Mellon, Amazon, Flipkart, Symphony. So these are some of the organizations actually recruited CMAs in last one and a half years time.
L&T,
And
L&T,
yeah, a lot more. I missed a lot.
L&T because
So
it's
that's
Indian MNC,
you.
L&T and Wipro and all Indian MNC. So I want to, because IMA helped us on getting some of the placements in L&T and Britannia, Wipro. All these are cream companies. So so it was through IMA. So that's what I want to add on to that.
Yeah, in fact, we haven't faced so far a challenge. I'll just give you one example. I mean, that's maybe in a good way out to say that recently there was a job opening with one of the organization for a financial controller position. And the requirement is somebody like who's a CMA with 5+ years of experience, 5 to 7+ years of experience, actually who worked in certain profiles. Unfortunately, we could not get we could not recommend someone for that profile. So on the other side, what I say, I'm happy to say that CMAs are well placed, and we haven't faced much issues so far when it comes to a candidate who completed CMA and getting placed. Now, yes, there are certain scenarios which we have seen with certain parts of India where students know the topic but they don't know how to communicate. So this is something which each individual need to really work on, because CMA as a certification will give you a brand and you can sell your brand, but you know how to you should know how to sell your brand. So sometimes I've seen people say there is no confidence. I think it is not because of confidence. You need to improve your communication skill, presentation skills, and interview skills. I think once you're done with that, I'm sure there is no challenge in the market. Thank you.
Right. So Hiba, I have a question. If we study CMA USA, can we work in India also, or we can? So you have opportunities abroad also, Hiba. We have helped some of the students to get placed in Middle East. So Middle East is one hub where we get a lot of network via a lot of jobs. It's not a commitment, but as and when it comes, we help our students on that as well. Nawaz, as I said, the overall fee, I would say, I'm not giving the breakdown in the interest of, this is being a larger forum, but I would say the overall fee you can budget between 1.5 to 1.75, depends upon professional or student. If you are a professional, it will be slightly on higher side. Student means much lesser. And if you are a student still studying in college, I would still suggest you should avail the benefit of that scholarship. We could make an effort to get you that scholarship, I think, at a larger level, but we are happy to provide you one-to-one counseling and give you complete insight about the fees also. Our counselors will be reaching out to you and giving complete clarity to the minute levels of cost, including GST. I hope that is fine, Nawaz.
There is a question about minimum eligibility to get or do CMA. So in India, what we used to say, a student who completed 12th standard while doing his graduation, he can start doing CMA. The requirement to complete CMA or to get the CMA title, you need to complete both part exams, two-part exam of CMA. You need to be a graduate, any stream, 2 years of relevant work experience, and active membership. So these are the four requirements. Whereas you can start preparing for your CMA from the first year graduation itself. I think there is no rule saying that you should not do it before that, but ideally the recommended time, I would say, it is from first year graduation. By that time, you get a basic idea about finance, management, accounting, and cost accounting that help you to prepare for CMA. So the only difference which I look at from sometimes the Indian or UK based certification, they start from very foundation level, then they progress in the certification. So that might be one reason you see 14 exams, 17 exams for many of these professional qualifications. When it comes to CMA, we test students up to level C, which is knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. So we test students from bottom to top in the same exam itself. So you need to prepare really well. So that's where the basic information on these topics will help. But on the same time, we used to get a lot of students from science background, engineering backgrounds, or maths background to do CMA program. The interesting side of that, what we have seen sometimes, they clear exams much faster than a commerce student. So I'm not discouraging commerce students, but I'm saying even from students from other streams do CMA, and it helps them to clear as well as get placed in good organizations. Thank you.
Thanks, Fenil. So Murli have a question. Indonesia, yes, exam centers is available in Indonesia. You can connect offline. We'll help you, Murli. Not to worry. I have given a couple of numbers. You will be able to, you can reach out. Our team also will get back to you. Romy have a question. I want to work in the space organization. Can this help me to achieve? Very much. So when you CXO levels, you want to get into that level, definitely, I would say this is one qualification which can really help from, as you progress. Recently, we were discussing about Capgemini, So Capgemini have taken a decision that beyond the managerial level, they would like to hire professionals. So they were asking me whether I can give you some good CVs to work on. It was on record to report areas. So, we support, we are shortlisting some CVs to get them for one of their prestigious client. Okay. So what is happening is that every company, so even the end client wanted professionals to do this work, and CMA USAs are highly appreciated. So that is something I would say you will have opportunities, Romy. I think I answered that. What can do after clearing the CMA exam? Do we get the job just after that, or we need experience thing like that need in CMA India? No, you will start working immediately after qualifying. You don't need experience, but you have 7 years time up to which you will have time to get the experience. Our students, predominantly 70% of students are either doing BCom or after, and BCom, when I say BCom, BBM or any category, and after that they do this, or along with graduation they do it. So they get into job, and later on they get into the certification part. So you don't need any prior experience. Minu Manjari have a question. I have already joined it. Okay. Placement assistance. So I'm not sure which branch you have joined, but we can definitely help you. You can connect with our counselors. After this, again, I will share the number. You can help. We can help you all. Okay, sir, I'm doing MCOM. Which professional course is the best? Srita, we explained the importance of CMA USA. That would be the most preferred choice for you. Amina have a question. After CMA, will we get the job? So as Fenil mentioned, and as per the students and the companies with which we, I have shown you a lot of slides. There are a lot of opportunities. We'll be able to arrange you up to interview level. You have to have the skills of handling the interview. Amina, I could not commend you personally. It depends upon you have to work on your language. I assume with a decent, reasonable level of English, with a good communication skill, then with our training, definitely you will be able to get into job. Okay. So I think we have discussed that. I have 8 years experience in hospitality, but I need to change my field. 100% we have students coming from Parul's question, whether from the hospitality he can come to finance stream. Definitely yes, possible. There are a lot of students even from marketing stream, they come back and do CMA. So that is always possible, Parul. We can help you all, not to worry. So what's the difference between CMA India and CMA USA? A candidate with CMA India can work outside India. See, Fenil was mentioning about difference between CPA and CMA, but to answer this, CMA USA you can achieve in a very short span of time. Opportunities across the globe, any part of the world you go, because it is a US qualification, you have opportunity. Unfortunately, Indian qualifications have restriction. You go with Indian qualification to US, it is not recognized. So that limitation is part of Indian qualification. I'm not underquoting Indian qualification, but CMA USA have that extra advantage because of US companies. Most of the US companies spread across the globe. Because of it, opportunities are there. Recently, the way we have students from places like Amsterdam, places like Switzerland, and different parts of Europe. Europe is picking up like anything. There are huge amount of initiatives happening in Europe for CMA USA. So another few years, Europe also will be a very potential mark for employment for CMA USA qualifieds. Okay, students started coming to us, joining for the program. That is a positive hint, I would say. Okay, What is the cost of complete the CMA USA course, including exam fees? I explained that. Overall, you can budget somewhere between 1.5 to 1.75, all fees including. We'll give more minutes of it, but approximately you can budget around that level. Okay. So I want to work, I answered that. Okay. How to get that scholarship? Srita, we will guide you. Offline, you can connect with our counselors, academic counselors who will be guiding you on that. Manoj, have a...
I think there is one question about final year students. No final year students. So you are not, because you completed your classes, you are not eligible. If you are in your first year or second year of your graduation, and if you're studying regular program, then you can apply for scholarship. I think I answered two of that. So I just thought of mentioning that. Thank you. Thank you, Vinod. Just
question on Wiley versus Gleam versus Hock. I would say, the simple choice of we have been Hock partner. I've been, as I said, I have been associating with Hock for very long period of time. Almost around 2005 onwards, I was in touch with Hock. Later on, IMA's, IMA official partner become Wiley. We moved to Wiley. We will not, undermine any material provider, but we could say that Hock is exceptional. The material, why we gone for Hock. Otherwise, we will not take chance for thousands of students. If the material is not of quality, we will not take a chance. So we are tied up with Hock because it is of a supreme quality material. You can rest assured, because we care about each individual student, and that is one of the reason why we moved to Hock. Okay. How to get the scholarship? We will guide you. Not to worry. I completed graduation. Sunita have a question. I completed graduation in year 99. Have a work experience 12 plus years in India, 3 years in Dubai. Due to pandemic, I lost a job in Dubai. Now in India, getting to 3 years experience. Nowadays, market is after a long time, and I'm able to cover with the studies. How to able MyLogic will absolutely don't worry, Sunita. Please talk to our academic counselors. There will be 2 numbers. Chaitanya will share in the chat box again. Our team will guide you. You don't have to worry. You have to commit yourself. We are starting our new batch July first week. So students has already joined for that batch. We provide this next 15 days. We will be providing Hock study material. We will be providing access to our resources. July first week onwards, the class starts. There are multiple batches. You will write one paper by October 2021. One exam you will complete by October 2021. There is a different levels of preparation. Again, we start in November 2021, the next part, the second part, and then you will be able to complete by February 2022 end. So which means that July to Feb is the class schedule, and you will be a qualified person by Feb 2022. You just need to follow. You have to commit yourself, give your time to us, and commit yourself. You will be in that 60 to 70% category in coming times. We will take care of it. Okay.
I think there is a question regarding this thing. There might be many students who join for this program. So whether MyLogic provide any kind of language sessions or
Absolutely.
English speaking sessions.
Okay, so we provide, we take care of the. You would have seen some sessions like sessions on PRP program, personality redefinement program, language program, COPA program. I shared one slide. The intention of that, it is not just about academic. You should be equip yourself to get into the industry. So the interview skills, how you attend the interview, how is a group discussion happen, you should be equipped. So we provide that basic levels of training to get into that level. More than that, I would say the moment you come to classes, we support from MyLogic Bangalore. Bangalore, we have branches in Mumbai as well as Malaysia, but we provide from Bangalore. The moment you start attending the classes, that itself is a major change, because you will have providers who coming from the CFO level background. Every class is happening in English. It's like real time. You start learning swimming in in a pool. So the same effect happens. So you don't have to worry about it. We will be taking care of how to mold you. Okay. And have a question: is there any exemptions? No exemptions, and there is no exemptions applicable. I am a BCom student, so how can get the scholarship? Yes, we will guide you, Nihal. Definitely, we will help you on getting the scholarship. Just talk to our counselors, and we are committed to help you out. Okay, Mahi, I have a question. I am BCom final year student. My exams are pending. Can I still get the scholarship? No, exams. If it is only exam pending, it may not be possible. But please reach out to us. We will help you with whatever best possible. Fees and everything, so that you can have the best of return on investment. Okay. Jishnu have a question: COPA or CMA USA, which is better? CMA USA is a program which is a professional program which gives that it's driven by IMA. COPA is a MyLogic driven program which is for a skill development. So both have its own advantages. So we go for the CMA students also, we provide not exactly COPA, but we give some basic insights about the skill development which is required for it. But COPA is a very unique program which is highlight itself is to bridge the gap between academics and industry. And if you are a person who cannot afford 1.5 to 1.75 lakhs, if you feel that, in my view, education and investment, you should be putting it. But COPA is relatively, you will be able to, the fees will be relatively less, but the output will be different. But it is not like CMA, it is not a professional program, but definitely get you an upper edge in industry. Okay. Minu Manjari, I have a question. For the 2 years of work experience to be counted for CMA qualification, is it necessary to have work experience in MNC? So there are areas specified, accounting, finance related core areas are there, Minu. We will be guiding you on that. You don't have to worry about it. As I said, once you become part of MyLogic, the entire responsibility lies with us, from academics to admin to your membership to your placement to your certification. Everything we will be guiding. So to answer you, there is experience required in finance, accounts related areas. Okay. Do we have any exposure for CMA USA in Europe, Australia and New Zealand? Yes, we have our students working in Australia, New Zealand, not much. Europe, there are students already doing it. So I could say that Europe is a very progressive market. Okay. I hope I answered that, Narayan. Manikandan, have a question. Most of the participants who joined here are students, including me. As you know, English speaking skill is more important for any professional qualification. Does MyLogic provide facilities? Yes. As a part of our training programs, there are personality redefinement programs through which we helps on the language part as well. But again, it depends upon the commitment of the student. Student have to start looking at, I am going to become a professional. Next 35 years, I wanted to, be in a city like Bangalore, in the best of companies I want to work. The moment you are committed, then we are there to help you out. Okay. Shafil, have a question. There are too many in the field of CMA. Are there any job opportunities with too many qualifiers in next few years? So as I said, the companies with which we are tied up, I have told you, and a lot of companies, the alumni network works. So you don't really need to worry about the job part, Shafil. I'm a third year BCom student. Will I get the scholarship? If you are pursuing third year, definitely you will be getting FIROS. You can be in touch with our counselors. We will help you out. So one more question by Murali. I'm working around 24 years in accounting profession. Would I suggest if I do CMA USA? 100%. I think Brian also explained earlier. It is very much recommended because you will be able to handle, the way you need to look at it is, okay, I have another 15 years of career, 20 years of career. CMA USA can help you to get into the senior most leadership levels. So that way you can, it will be helpful. Paucity of time, I am running with the questions. Contact CMA coordinator number is there. Bhavani has a question. It's such an effective course. Do you feel offline classes are more good than online for developing our? Not really, Bhavani. So we have been providing, as I said, we have been providing online classes for last almost 4 years, not with COVID. We have been supporting a lot of every batch. We have around 100 students from Middle East doing CMA USA program. Everything is online. Now you have seen the dashboard, everything, it is top class. In a physical class, you don't get that. You get the recorded sessions, you can practice questions, and every support is, you get that unique flair. So I do not see much difference between, I would say, online and offline in my view. Is CMA online exams can be done from UAE also? Yes, CMA exams can be done from UAE. You have exam centers. What are the job opportunities after CMA? We have explained, Elsa, so I think that answered it. How will apply for scholarship? Definitely you can connect with our coordinators, will help you out. I'm doing BCom last year along with working under CA for last 2 years. So I will take admission as a professional or student. We need to specifically check that. You seems like eligible for student, but we need to check with IMA. We can help with that, Kushaga. We will offline connect with you and help you out on that. Nagaraj have a question. Do I have a chance to change the stream from accounting to investment banking? Please advise if I complete CMA. CMA is more of a general management qualification. Investment banking, it will give an extra advantage. You can quote yourself as a CMA. Wherever you go, that gives that competitive advantage. But it is not core, investment banking. So probably you could complete CMA in a short span and then start doing CFA in a relaxed manner is what I could propose you.
Just one question, like if you're asking for the student member and professional member, any students who are regularly attending undergraduate or postgraduate program, they are eligible to be a student. All others comes under professional. Just thought of adding that.
Thanks,
Thank
Fenil.
you, Vinod.
Thanks for that clarity. Nagaraj, have a question. So investment banking, I have explained that. For a working professional, how many hours do we need to spend daily? Manoj, I would say you attend our classes and then when you join, we will be providing you an orientation session as to step by step, what do you need to do, okay, minute level, till the date you write exam, okay, including, the plan of action, everything. Like I said, July starting, October 1 paper, November starting, February next paper. So I'm not going into the minutes level because this is something which we closely share with our students. The minute level of approach, I would say, the magic of making students pass. So but definitely we are there to help you out. That is how this result also coming up. So we will be guiding you to end to end as to how to. You need to commit yourself. That's all. That's what I could say. Okay. Please bear with me. Paucity of time I am running. Is CMA USA much better than CMA India? I explained, Sheffield, it's not a comparison of this is better or that is better. But I would say, CMA USA have real good advantages as we discussed so far. Very, very competitive advantage have across the globe. Is there any question we missed out? Sorry, I was rushing with some paucity of time also. Any question?
I think you covered all.
Sorry, Fenil, Brian, I have taken your chance of answering also.
I was also texting them one by one on my side as well.
Brian, you there? Sorry, I because of paucity of time, I taken some of the questions and rushed it, and some of them were Indian specific. So please, sorry for that. Brian, you there? Yeah. Okay.
I'm here.
Yeah. Any other questions? Anybody? Any questions? See, one thing, as I said, the pattern or the system. So the moment you come to us, it's like, as I said, the moment, let's say somebody registering tomorrow, the journey starts from there. You have a study plan given. You will have a start with a welcome mail. You will be connected with coordinators. Then you will have a classes complimentary access given. Materials will be given. You will be getting, I would say, the live classes starting from July onwards, July, August, September, October first week. Then the revision, question bank, all these stuff. October 1 exam. Again starts with November, the other paper. Start the same process. February end, you write the second exam. Then you start getting into, that additional programs like, language and personality development, all these things become part of it. And then finally, you get into, whichever company's interviews coming up, we help you to get into the interviews, and then you get placed. And there are a lot of testimonial videos also. I'm not sharing because this is not a marketing session, so it is more of an awareness session. So I didn't go into that, but there are in our website, you will find a lot of testimonials also. And our team will be definitely helping you with, the counselors number at academic coordinators, business heads number will be shared. You can reach out to them as well. Any other questions, anybody? I want to say specific thanks to few people specifically. We have today joined with us Lakshman Rao sir from SRM University, Head of Commerce Department. Thank you so much sir for joining us and being part of this session. Thank you for that. We have also Nashifa Fatima, Madam Nashifa Fatima from Sri Lanka, again lecturer in commerce. Madam, thanks for joining and being part of this. We have Matthew and Matthew team, Edu Masters team from Kerala. They have Mr. Ranjit, Mr. Akhil, Debu, and then like that, lot of youngsters part of it. I'm sorry I missed some of the names, but there have been a lot of efforts gone behind taking this. I would call it as the Edu Masters team, who has been very instrumental in supporting us in this journey. Thanks to Edu Masters team, Matthew and the entire team. Then we have Hyderabad team. The MyLogic Hyderabad team has been putting a lot of effort. So Vasu and team for making a lot of initiatives. We have MyLogic Bangalore team headed by Sindhu Ruba for supporting this initiative. So thanks for being part of it. Entire MyLogic Bangalore team. We have Mumbai team, Deepak sir, and team supporting from Mumbai, the entire Mumbai team. Chaitanya played a very pivotal role in supporting and organizing this program. Have done a great job, Chaitanya. And special thanks to Fenil and Brian. Thank you so much, Fenil and Brian, to make this. Fenil, you there?
Yes, I'm very much here.
Your cam is on, probably. Yeah. So
Okay.
special thanks to Fenil and Brian for enlightening almost 225 participants today who joined this program and really get enlightened through your session. Both of you were really rocking, I would say. You have given complete insights about the program, and we look forward to more and more sessions like this in future times to come. And any questions students have specific to you also, we will be forwarding reach back to you. And once again, to all the professors and students who have joined in large numbers and made this session successful. We have the question answer session itself gone for 40 minutes, indicates how much the students were eager. So thanks everyone once again from bottom of heart and on behalf of entire MyLogic team for making this a very successful event. Thank you so much, one and all, for joining this. Thanks, Fenil. Thanks, Brian. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinod. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Chaitanya.
Yeah,
After a
thanks a lot.
long time.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.